How's it going, guys? The Ice Crash Inquisitor in Hardcore Melee League died, so I am re-leveling in Archnemesis Trade League so that we can actually put that build together. Quickly want to show off my setup I have here for leveling. This is just like pretty much the gear I use on any spell-based leveling character. I'm using Stormbrand, currently linked with added lightning damage, controlled destruction, onslaught, conk effect, and lightning penetration. Now for clearing, I'll swap chain in for added lightning damage, which I'll do to level in Act 5. At level 2, when you first get to Lionized Watch, I picked up 2 wands. I alt-spam them until I hit +1 lightning spell skill gems, and then at level 24 you can craft lightning damage to spells on them after augmented regaling them. And then at level 40 and 54 you could up that lightning damage. Level 20 you can put on Barrack's Grip. Level 22 you can get a Praxis. The -8 mana cost of skills helps with the 6 link here. Then 7 link Step, Gold Rim for resistances, any of the Rampage gloves, Shadows and Dust is just what I had, and Carnage Heart is for the all attributes. And then I have a String of Servitude that has 48 all res on it. So I'm going to be able to take what I have here all the way up to maps where I can then respec and do what I want with this, because we're already good to go on resistances. So, see how this is going. Oh, I get this down here. I got Wave of Conviction with Hex Touch, Elemental Weakness, and Fist of Lightning to make sure that it applies lightning exposure. And it also applies the curse, so it's like doing all of that at once. I'm running Herald of Thunder, Wrath, and Clarity at the moment. You know, we zoom the level real quick. There we go. Bye bye Malachite. So this tree is going to change by the end of this video, so I'm going to showcase what I got here. I got Augury of Penitence from my normal lab. First thing I did was I pushed up to get Rune Binders, so you can have 2 brands on an enemy. And then I got Runesmith to get 2 additional brands. This helps with clearing. And then from this point on, like I did get Divine Judgment, but I'm just going to level into life and things that I'm going to need for the Ice Crash, because we're going to test that out. But yeah, getting Runebinder, getting 1 brand mastery, like this setup will take you to maps always, easily. So there's that. Alrighty, part 1 is done. I got it to maps, level 66, threw on all of the XP gear. I left the belt on my 7 league steps, so I still got speed. I have a Flame Dash, an Enduring Cry, and Grace, Determination, Purity of Fire. And then once I get level 72, I'll throw in the Awakened Gems, so I can start leveling those. Almost there. Alrighty, so we've got Replica Oro's Sacrifice, Ice Crash, finally put together so we can get a look at it. This is, I didn't POB this build beforehand. This is just like the idea that was in my head. I slapped it all together, and here it is. So I've got the Replica Oros. It gives massive flat cold damage to attacks. And here I got Ice Crash. I have an Awakened Cold Pin, Awakened Elemental Damage with attacks, Awakened added cold damage. All those are level 1. And a Fist of War. Because since Fortify is pretty bad, why use Fortify when you can turn your Ice Crash into that? Is every, stay there, I don't think. Every 1.76 seconds we can do a big boy Ice Crash. pretty cool. And that does 100% more damage with hits and has 60% increased area effect. So if I'm moving slowly through a zone, we can do that. So this also allows us to leech as life against frozen enemies. Again, endurance charge if I freeze an enemy. And the downside is I take increased physical and cold damage. So because of that, we're pretty beefy on the physical damage, and I got the extra max cold res on my way down to prismatic skin. So defensively, without flasks up, 77% physical damage reduction with armor, 73% chance to evade, only 50% spell suppression chance, because I just kind of slapped on gear. We'll get to it. Yeah, that's pretty solid. So I am running Determination, Clarity, Hatred, Precision, Grace, and a Defiance banner. I couldn't fit Vitality in, or I'd be running that as well. But we pretty much need it for the accuracy. Without the Precision, my accuracy is 84%, 74% against evasive monsters, so absolutely have to have the Precision. It's max, or it's level 20, I think. So it's still not perfect, but we got it. Well, the rest of the gear I just kind of slapped on. I like straight up took these boots off another character that I had. In here I've got my Creeping Frost, Bone Chill, Unbound Ailments, also linked to Frostblink. So Frostblink leaves chilled ground, and Creeping Frost leaves chilled ground. So those enemies chilled have their cold damage taken increased by chill effect. So that does more damage. So there's two ways that I can apply that. Also, the Creeping Frost counts as a spell, increases my damage for 8 seconds 3 times because of this ascendancy here, Instruments of Virtue. Next. Boots are giving me additional curse. The additional curse is a mark on hit, Assassin's Mark. That's going to give us extra base crit chance and multi chance to gain power charge on hit, which not gonna do us too much. A level 1 clarity because it's just I don't have the mana. I don't have any mana regeneration rate. Oh no, I do have this mana regeneration rate. Well, I wanted to try and do this without mana regeneration rate so I could try to work in Chainbreaker. That will be a project for later because we're not there yet. So the other curse is I got it on this ring. Rings, it had accuracy on it, it had cold damage to attacks, it had frostbite on hit in life. So I was like, yep, the whatever, like 50 chaos or whatever this was, fine, that'll work. This one, I needed some int, I wanted cold damage to attacks, I needed fire and lightning res. That one worked. It wasn't expensive. This amulet, I was looking for cold damage to attacks, intelligence, and chaos res. I sorted by max cold damage to attacks, and this was there. Or this is still up 30 chaos. I paid for this. No life on it, but it's got crit chance, it's got multi, it's got like T1 fizz and cold. All of that fizz is converted to cold, and then there's extra lightning on top, so if I crit, I maybe can shock. Yeah, that's just amazing. And then I anointed another 10% Ellie pin on there. The belt, I took off another character. It's got life. It's got Ellie damage with attacks. This jewel isn't made for this, but it's got life, mana. Cool. What else? Yeah, I got clarity. I've got the precision, the grace, a molten shell. I don't like molten shell. I want to switch that back to steel skin, but molten shell is technically better. There's a vitality that I'm not using. Hatred, anomalous enduring cry because it's faster, even though I'm getting endurance charges when I'm clearing. And there's the determination. So I kind of quickly threw flasks together. Nothing amazing here. I probably want a bottle of faith. I probably want like a phasing flask. Like flasks are not like in the best shape. So passive tree kind of looks like I had it. Had talked about in the hardcore league. It's just like actually put together because we're not running with a shield. Getting Mage Bane here is giving me a decent chunk of spell suppression. as well as the 10% on full life. I have 12 on the helmet. I don't think I looked at the helmet, but yeah, I was looking for spell suppression on the helmet. I was crafting these with intelligence essences to try and hit spell suppression. This is what I got. I did craft implicits on these, reduced mana cost of attacks, and unique enemy increase attack damage with the Ice Crash enchant. And this is an extra flat cold, and inflict cold exposure. And with this mastery right here, I'm inflicting minus 18 cold exposure instead of the 13 that it shows. So I could have rolled that with lessers. Something to think about in the future. And down here, I'm getting my onslaught, converting some of my evasion into armor, getting my cold pen, bringing some frost. This is where I'm getting 25% frenzy charge chance on shattering enemy. This is aura effect, determination mana reservation efficiency, precision mana reservation efficiency. I could get vitality mana reservation efficiency if I needed it. This is grace mana reservation efficiency. Over here, mana reservation efficiency, pretty much like stacked like an aura bot. Like I have like all of the mana stuff on the tree. Mana reservation efficiency there. And this mastery is just the 50 life. And then I've got 4 1 passive jewel sockets that I'm not using. So that's there. And if I wanted to like slap something in and try and get a chain breaker going off, there's a couple spots that I could do that. That would cause my rage to... It would cost 3 rage per attack, since I'm attacking really slowly, and the Ice Crush is the only attack that I'm doing. If I can regenerate more than 3 rage per second, then... or 3 rage per 0.88 seconds, I will be gaining rage, not losing it, and that scales off mana regeneration rate. So if you stack enough mana regeneration rate, you can stack a bunch of rage, get a bunch of extra damage and speed. That's the longer term plan. Also using Battle Mage to juice an Ice Nova in the chest. That's projects for later. But I think that's all we need to go over. Let's look at what it's doing. This is the Uber Lab Izaro. I think we've got bearers and the guardian guys going on here. This is the hardest content I've done on this, and it can kill this stuff. I've got 5k life. I'm not too worried about dying. I got all that armor. Like barrages of spells is what I'm like most scared of. And bosses aren't necessarily going to do that. That needs spell suppression to really deal with it. And maybe there just isn't room in here for it. But handled that fairly well. Anything worth having here. Wintertide Brand Max Stages is really good. Crit chance if you haven't crit recently. Yeah. Sure. So what does that put my crit chance at? 27.25. That's only with a 5% base. So with the Assassin's Mark on the enemy, that adds another 1.5 to my base. So everything's scaling off of 6.5. So if it's scaling off of 5 and getting up to 25, that's 5 times that. So 6.5 times 5 is 32.5. So it would be a little bit higher than that. Crit chance against unique enemies. And that's like, I was going to anoint Whispers of Doom because I want to get the implicit inflict brittle when you walk around enemies. So the only thing I did not have there that I need is I get Sanctuary. This is going to give me Consecrated Ground. That's another 15% increased damage taken to enemies. But that requires me to stop, but I stop every time I use this attack. So if I'm standing on top of an enemy, I will get damage off with it. So let's throw it into the fire then. Actually, you know what? Let's vol these gems that I leveled. I've got 9 level 3 empowers. There's a 4. That's a 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, and 3. Okay, redemption from the last time. So, uncorrupted, these were going for 1x. Corrupted, 35 chaos, and then a level 4 is 6 exalts. So that's 18x right there. Ooh, yeah. Alrighty. Deal with these later, and I'm still sitting on this Awakened GMP, so I will have money to throw at this build. This is like, I don't care about profits anymore. I'm not trying to make anything else this league. This is my last project. We'll throw everything at this. And figuring out how to get an Ice Nova in this chest and get all the other sockets and get this thing 6-linked. Might need some unset rings. We might need to craft some stuff. So that'll be coming in the coming days. So T16 map, why don't we? Get an Ashen Wood. Do I have one rolled? Don't look like it. Now, like, I don't know what this is gonna be like. Can I do triple curse? I am not LE weakness capped, but with endurance charges I am. This is a pretty gnarly test for it, I won't lie. And then we'll throw some squishies in there. We'll see if this works on a 5-link. Like, with the 6-link, that would give us a lot more. With the rage, that'd give us a lot more potential of berserk for bossing and whatnot as well. So, freezing enemies, yeah, I've got frenzy charges, I've got endurance charges. I hit a rare or unique enemy. I'm gonna curse them with the assassin's mark, and it killed things. And I gotta remember to use my creeping frost, because that's gonna add a lot of damage just from using spells. From the battle mage nonsense. Yeah, I put beyond in here with the... Well, come back here. It's really weird using creeping frost on a different button than my right click. That's where it normally is. This guy's regenerating life. What is up with that nonsense? And I can freeze it. I'm freezing a T16 Beyond boss. Not for a long duration by any means, but like the hit's doing enough to freeze it. That's something. Yeah, I need better crits. Like those last 2 hits seem like crits. And if I could leave brittle ground, that would work. There's some way of inflicting brittle. I don't want to give up the freeze though, so that's why I want it on the boots if I can get it there. It seems like it needs a little bit more time to cook before this is going to be solid. But for like a proof of concept, I feel like it's here. Beyond's like in a map this stacked is going to be hard on no matter what build. And I don't have max spell suppressions, so stuff like this Ephige is going to potentially be an issue with that Vol Stormcall got going on. And like I said, barrages of spell damage like that, probably the thing that would get me killed the fastest without spell suppression. But that's why we kind of made sure we get the extra max res. So this is about how my hardcore build was feeling in like white maps with the shield. So there are improvements to come on this. I'm probably going to go clean that map up on my Fire Trap Elementalist using the Dawnbreaker. Such an amazing build. I'm also going to make a leveling guide for that closer to the start of next league. But that's going to do it for me for today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving it a like, as it really helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you want to keep up with these daily videos, and I'll see you on the next one.